I'm Lisa from Quilter's Thread. Today, I'm going to talk about artistic talent. It is my opinion, and I'll explain why, that artistic talent isn't something that's just born in you. Artistic talent is something that can be learned and, frankly, I think should be learned. So I grew up in a family with a lot of artistic talent, and it was innate. My sisters got out their first crayon and drew masterpieces. They drew dogs and cats that were realistic, and I mean realistic. Rembrandt would have been jealous. I was not like that. Around the age of 14, I mastered making cute little rows of flowers. Now, I can prove that. My grandmother saved one of these. This is what I drew when I was 14 years old. Not a really good, certainly not mature, certainly not very artistic, but full of love, and it worked for me. It was the 70s, was all about flower power. That's fine. I went off to high school, managed to make it through my art requirement by getting an A for effort. I constructed a train out of clay slabs. Frankly, it was beautifully engineered, but the painting looked like it was by a second grader. It's a really good thing I got good scores in math. My mom was able to save all my math papers in the scrapbook alongside all the masterpieces that my sisters drew and painted. When I got to college, I did take one undergraduate class in art, and that was called Introduction to Design. I managed to make my way through that with a lot of hard work and a lot of research. This was pre-internet, so I was able to get a lot of ideas that my TA had never seen before and repurpose them to satisfy the assignments. Now, several lives later, I needed a teaching certificate to be the aide to an art teacher at a private school. I did the math, was good at that, and found that I didn't like the math. An undergraduate degree in education, so I could get my certificate, was 120 credits. A master's in art would only cost me 30 credits. And as luck would have it, the art school based acceptance on portfolio, not based on your undergraduate degree. So in those days, the 1990s, quilt making was still in the early stages of resurgence, and my portfolio of quilts was a bit novel to the art school, so they accepted me. But they accepted me pending completion of introductory drawing and painting classes. And I guess that's fair. You can't give someone a master's degree in art if they've never even tried to draw a picture. So off to drawing class I go. And I wind up with a good professor. And it turns out she can teach me to draw in a single semester. I promise you, it's not beautiful art, but you can see 3 different perspectives of a chair, and it looks like a chair. We've got bones here. I could draw bones. And in one semester, I could use pastels and draw beautiful fruit. This was taught to me, but drawing wasn't the most important thing that I learned in that class. What I learned was how to look at something I was drawing, and that is how to internalize it in my brain. And that's where the art is. The art is in our brain. So when I teach quilting, I teach how to think like a quilter. You hear me say that. And that starts with thinking about how you construct seams, how you press, how you cut, all of that. But in fact, once you get by those simple fundamentals, the rest of thinking like a quilter is in the design. So it really doesn't make any difference whether you're using a pattern and simply choosing colors. You're designing. If you're using a pattern and altering the blocks or altering the layout or altering the border, you're a designer. If you're making a completely unique quilt from scratch, you're a designer. And all of those skills can be taught and can be taught to do them better than you're doing them now. So my final note on this, again, comes back to my teaching, and that is, I'm a quilter before I'm a teacher. And I make things. I'm a quilter who makes things. So I'm not a big fan when I teach of exercises that simply are exercises for the sake of learning. I doubt I'll ever teach a typical theory class. Regardless of what lesson I'm teaching, my exercises have useful outcomes, and I hope yours do too. So take that with you, please. Learn and teach artistic talent to all those you know. Again, this is Lisa from Quilter's Thread. Contact us at our website, on Instagram, on Facebook, and remember, live well, quilt well.